I feel like a content creator. This is something that was gifted to me by my friends. Welcome back, guys. So today's video is a bookshelf tour plus rearranging my bookshelves plus cleaning my bookshelves. But the primary reason is a bookshelf tour because I wanted to do it for the longest of times. I'd made one video way back, and at the time I had only one shelf. Now I have two more, and I also wanted to show you all the books I have, the physical books I have. But before the bookshelf tour, I need to clean this first. It's like out of sight, out of mind. I don't even register the dust that had been collected on the top layer of those books. And today I think it's time to clean this stuff. So let's begin. Okay, by the way, I'll also go about telling you what all I have on my bookshelf. I feel like a content creator. Like, I sort of am, I think, but this feels very much main character era. This is something that was gifted to me by my friends, and it says, "You can be Hermione, we'll just be Harry and Ron till then." And I've lost the cable that lightened this lamp up, but yeah, good memento, no? This was gifted to me by another friend, and it says at the back, "Don't you wish you were here?" This is a Sherlock Holmes inspired bookend, and I got this from a book box. This is a beautiful painting given to me by my psychology teacher in 12th grade with a note on back. done, guys. It's done. So the shelves are all set. Now we'll go one by one to all the books that I own. Beginning from the top shelf, we have. My god, this will be a very tiring process. Let's see what can we do. So as you can see here, oh, from here to here, the books are from Cassandra Clare. She's a very famous YA fantasy author, and I kickstarted my reading journey reading her YA fantasies only. So these 6 books are the Mortal Instruments series. This is the Infernal Devices series, and this is the Dark Artifices series. This one book was one of the spin-off of the series only, and this book also has another book in this series, but I only have this one physically available. So this is from one author. Coming to this too. So the Six of Crows and the Crooked Kingdom. These two are my favorite YA fantasies. Then we have The City of Brass by S.A. Chakrabarti. This is also a 3-book fantasy, but I only have the first book physically. I've read the other two on an ebook, I guess. Yeah. Then we have another fantasy, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. And this is also a 3-book series. I have only the first book. And this is also an amazing historical fantasy, I would say. And people who like their books action-packed, gritty, violence here and there, you should definitely try this one out. Then I have Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri, and I don't remember what this book's about. I also think this is a series, or is this a standalone? I don't know. Then I have this duology, which is Hunted by the Sky and Rising Like Storm by Tanaz Batena. This is Indian culture inspired fantasy, and okay, I'm having difficulty doing this now. I think Indian readers who want to get into fantasy should definitely try these books out. And then I have this book called Company of Liars. I don't know what it's about. I picked this book from a book fair, yeah. Now for these 2 shelves. This shelf has thrillers, some fantasies, some historical fiction, some general fiction, and some classics. Here also there are some historical fictions, and then there's fiction in general. For thrillers, I have Dark Matter and Recursion by Blake Crouch. These 2 are scientific thrillers. I don't usually read sci-fi that much. However, I was in my booktube watching era, and these 2 books kept coming up time and again. So another duology, it is One of Us is Lying and One of Us is Next. This is a YA thriller. It's basically whodunit kind of a mystery by Karen McManus. Karen M. McManus. And similar to the vibe of One of Us is Lying, I have Ace of Spades by this author. I'll respectfully not pronounce her name because I'll butcher it for sure. Then I have a thriller series, and that is Truly Devious, Hand on the Wall, and Vanishing Star by Maureen Johnson. This is also a YA thriller, and these books are very engaging because it's basically a continuation of storyline, and it is very engaging because it is set in a boarding school, and this boarding school does not have a standard curriculum. It is a place where students learn what they're best at. For example, there's a main character who is very good at true crime and detective stuff. So she enrolls in this boarding school, and she just, enhances and hones her detective skills. And lastly, in this, not lastly, but then we have The House of Skill by Anthony Horowitz. This is a spin-off of Sherlock Holmes' story, and it's a very good book. Continuing with our thrillers, then I have I'm Watching You by Teresa Driscoll. I bought this book when I did not know the art of reading. Then we have 3 thrillers from one of my favorite thriller authors, that is Carol Slaughter. This is The Good Daughter. Then we have Girl Forgotten, and then we have False Witness. So these 2 books are my recent purchases from a book fair. This I've read and loved it. I'm hoping to love these as well. Then I have The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. This is a very memorable book for me because I read this in between my boards, 12 boards, and I loved it. And I thought only after reading this that I should really get into reading. Then I have this book called What Alice Knew, and I'm Watching You. These two are the books that I bought when I did not know what reading meant. I have no memory of what these two books entail. Then we have Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. And this is also a very classic whodunit type of mystery. I loved reading it. I do not remember what it's about. One of my friend is reading this currently, and she asked me, have I read this book? I said yes, and she wanted to discuss something, but did I know anything about the book? No, I only know how I felt after reading this book, and I felt good. Then we have a very dark thriller author, and that is Gillian Flynn, I don't know, but it's Dark Places by her, and it's indeed very dark. And other two books, one of the books of her that I read, which my friend lent to me, was Sharp Objects. That is also very dark, very sinister. And Gone Girl by her is a classic, I guess, at this point. The movie is great. Then I Bet You'd Look Good in a Coffin by Katie Brent, and I have rambled about this a lot, so let be. Then I have The Chill by Ross MacDonald. This is another book that I bought from a book fair. Haven't read it. I'll read it this year. Then I have Anatomy of Scandal by Sarah Wong. For the last two books that are thrillers, we have When We Were Friends by Tina Seskes. Again, a very recent purchase from book fair. And the last is A Season for the Death by David Hewson. This book, I don't remember what it's about. I bought it, I guess, 3-4 years ago in a book fair. Now it's time for fantasies. We have The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, a very heartwarming, found family aspect fantasy. We have The Story of Silence by Alex Myers. This book came in a book box. I basically cajoled my brother into buying me this quarterly subscription of book boxes because it had fancy stuff in it. It had 2 books, some book related merch. Then I have Never Tell. This is a middle grade fantasy. And then we have Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I've recently completed it. Then I have this fantasy. It's called The Betrayals by Bridget Collins. This is more of a dark academia book. I did not like it that much, but the cover is great. Then I have the 3 Dark Crown series. It has 3 Dark Crowns, 2 Dark Reigns, 5 Dark Fates, and 1 Dark Throne. Another amazing, underappreciated fantasy series. Now we'll be moving on to historical fictions. So first I have All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. And this book, I think this was a book that I'd read pretty early on in my reading journey, and that is why I did not appreciate the book that much. And I also think that if I were to read this book right now, at this moment, I'd appreciate it much more. Although it's not all historical fiction, now the books are just a mix of fiction. Then we have Lajja by Taslima Nasreen. This is a book by a Bangladeshi women author, and it's apparently banned in Bangladesh. And I haven't read it. I need to read this ASAP. Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. And I bought this book. From the Midland bookstore in Gurgaon. And I picked this book up because I'd heard a lot about this author. Not this book per se, but this author's writing was known to be very good, so picked this up. Then we have horrific historical fictions, starting off with The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne, The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. And a very unpopular opinion is I did not finish this book. I lost interest midway. Then I have Schindler's List by Thomas Keneally. And I haven't read this book. I want to read this book and also watch the movie after that. And then we have Book Talk, Instagram, cult famous Khalid Hosseini's books, A Thousand Splendid Suns. I haven't read this book yet. Then we have And the Mountains Echoed. Read this, did not like it that much. And then we have The Kite Runner. I like this book, did not love it. Then we have another sad, depressing book that I don't know why people are reading. It's A Little Life, and it's very hypocritical of me. I know that I've read it and now I'm saying people not to read it, but really, no need, please. Then we have The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This author and this book is very famous for its dystopian setting and social commentary in general, but I also did not finish this book up. I've read only Itta and did not finish it. The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divyakarni. And this is a very famous book. Again, I've read only few pages, did not complete it because maybe at the moment I did not feel like reading this book. Now we have You've Reached Sam by Dustin Thau. This is a book that I picked up from Daryaganj Market in Delhi. Then we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. I picked this book up because everyone was raving about Emily Henry. I also wanted to read and see for myself what her works are all about. Did not enjoy this book that much. Then we have Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. This is a YA sort of coming of age novel of a teenager. It's a good read. Then I have All About Books. No, sorry, All About Love by Bell Hooks. So there's a different charm of books that you do not buy. You get it. And this is one of those books. So there was this game during one of our college fest events wherein people had to guess the book from its first line, and I guessed two. So I got two books. One was this, All About Love by Bell Hooks, and another one was where is it? Yeah, Seven Moons of Mali Almeida by Shehan Karunatilak. I have some classics and some general fiction. So starting off with Ellen Foster by Kay Gibbons. This is also a book that I bought from Book Fair, haven't read it yet. Then we have Ghachar Ghochar by Vivek Shanbag. And I'm extremely guilty of not finishing this book because it's this short. And it wasn't as if I did not like this book. I just couldn't finish the book at that moment. And then we have Sea of Kashmir by Chirijit Paul. I did not have much expectations from this book, but it turned out to be pretty good. Then I have She and I by Imayam, and this book is peak toxicity. If you want to read about a toxic relationship, here you go. Then I have few classics. We have Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. Haven't read it. Then we have A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Loved it. Then I have The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde and did not like it that much. Then I have Oliver Twist by Charles Dickens. Haven't read it. Then I have Jude the Obscure by Thomas Hardy. Picked this one from Book Fair. Haven't read it. So guys, coming to the bottom shelf, in this first column I have most of my chunky books and hardcovers. So beginning with this one, this is a fantasy. It's called Crescent City. No, The House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. And the Crescent City, I guess it's the series name. This is also a 3-book series. I bought this one from a bookstore, and not because I was the one paying it. It was because my brother was there and I knew that he'd pay. So I bought this book and it was a very fun read. Did not read the other 2 books because it needed a lot of commitment. I wasn't ready for that. Then we have The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, another great cozy thriller mystery. Then we have Rebel Spy, historical fiction of a spy set during the time of American War of Independence. Then we have a magical realism book. Is it? Okay, it is a fantasy. It's The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And at the time when I saw a lot of booktube videos, like 4 to 5 years back, this book was everywhere. And I also succumbed to the hype. I read this book, I did not like it that much. However, this book was not the one that I read. I read this book as an ebook, and this is a copy that I got from one of the book boxes, and I was very disappointed because I got a book that I'd already read. I really wanted something different, something that I hadn't read already. Then we have Lovely War by Julie Berry. Amazing, a very subtle and good, a fresh twist on historical fictions. It contains 2 sets of love story during the time of World War I, narrated by Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite. And then lastly, for the hardback, we have Bridge of Clay by Marcus Zusak. This is again a book I picked from a book fair, haven't read it yet. Some historical fictions. I've shown you this book already. No? And I have A Gentleman in Moscow by Amar Tals. This is again a book that I read pretty early on in my reading journey and pretty early on during my intellectual development also, because I did not get the whole context and the meaning behind this book. But now, had I read it now, I would have liked it much better. Then we have The Mountain Sing by, again, respectfully not pronouncing the name of the author. It's set during the Vietnam War and it's very sad, heartbreaking. The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. This book is a blend of mystery, historical fiction, of intergenerational saga. It is a good book. Then we have The Stationery Shop of Tehran by Marjan Kamli. I haven't read this book yet. It's a recent purchase. I'm very much looking forward to reading this book. Next book I have is Burial Rites by Hannah Kent, and this is set in Iceland and it's also largely inspired by Iceland's last public execution. Then I have The Help by Catherine Stockett. This is a book that I picked up years ago in a book fair. Had no expectations from it, but when I read it, it was a 5-star book. Then I have my Kristen Hannah pile. I'm not showing you it one by one because it will take a lot of time. So we have The Nightingale, then The Great Alone, True Colors, Night Road, Between Sisters, Firefly Lane, Fly Away, Wild, and one more. Four Winds. All of Kristen Hannah book. My favorite author of all time. Next we have a domestic fiction. We have A House Without Windows by Nadia Hashimi. This is a very moving tale about the status and condition of women in Afghanistan in this book, but it throws light in general on the status of women in any orthodox, traditional, patriarchal, low income country. Then I have Hello Beautiful by Anne Neapolitano. I started this book, did not complete it. I don't know why. Two by same author. It's The Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett and The Mothers by Brit Bennett. I chanced upon both of these books purely based on luck. So I bought The Mothers first, and I bought this book. No, I did not. No, I did. I did. Okay, yeah. So I was in Delhi. I went to this cafe wherein if your bill was a certain X amount, you'd get to choose one of the books from their bookshelf, and they weren't any good books. But luckily, I chanced upon this, and I hadn't heard about the book that much, as much about the author. So I picked this book up, and recently I was in a book fair and I got this book. This was the famous one by this author, Vanishing Half by Brit Bennett, and lucky me. Then we have The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. Yet to read it, excited to read it. Then we have An American Marriage by Tayari Jones. I started this book, I guess 2 years ago, left it. And not because I did not like it, I just was preoccupied by something else. I do need to read this book as well. Then I have a recent purchase, and that is A Woman on a Suitcase by Shazaf Fatima Heather. Pick this one from Crossword, yet to read it. And then we have one of my all-time favorites, A Man Called Ua by Frederick Backman. Frederick Backman in general as a writer, as an author, is so good. Just read any of his book, I guess. From the same author, Frederick Backman, we have Bear Town. Again, a masterpiece. Please read this. Then we have Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. Again, a very good book. I did not give it a 5.5 star, but I think many people would really love this book. Then we have Animal by Lisa Taddeo. Again, a book I recently purchased, haven't read it yet. Then we have something by an Indian author, Orienting an Indian in Japan. Loved this book. It's a memoir, and I think this book is a testament to the fact that you never know unless you try, and that is why it's a non-fiction, but I liked it. And that is why I should try reading something else, something out of my comfort zone, because I'll find good books. Then we have Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo, a good read again. Then I have a book called Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I need to read this. I think I'll read this book next. However, it entirely depends upon my mood. Then we have The White Tiger by Arvind Adiga, a Booker Prize winner. Also need to read this ASAP. Now we have some classics. We begin with The Makioka Sister by by Junichiro Tanizaki, and I'm guessing this person is a very famous author. I don't know the gender. Again, one of those books that I started reading, did not complete it because needed a lot of commitment, which I wasn't ready for yet. Then we have one of the very famous books, Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. I read this book and it was a good book, but not a 5-star read as it was claimed by many people on social media. Like, it was not for me, for them it might have been. Then we have two chunky books, and both by Russian authors. We have War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, and we have Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. And I was in my Russian history lover girl era when I picked these two books up. I started reading this, never came around finishing it, and I don't think I'll ever pick it up again. Started this, completed this, liked it. Continuing with Russian classics, I have some more books. Starting off with White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Amazing read, 5 stars. Then I have Notes from Underground, again by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Haven't read it yet. Then we have Crime and Punishment, again by the same author. Started it, did not complete. The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. And I was tempted to buy this book because of my Russian history classes and about the authors that I was reading about. But I don't think I'll pick this book soon. Then I have V by Yevgeny Zametin. Yevgeny Zametin. This is a dystopian novel. This is one of the books that inspired George Orwell, by the way. The next book is Fathers and Sons by Ivan Turgenev, and I picked this book up because of my Russian history assignment. I did an assignment on this book. It's basically the social trend of that time. It was like 1860s or something, and nihilism was very prominent at the time, and this book was like a case study for me. Then I have two very pretty hardcovers, classics, and one of my first classic, that is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I recommend this book to everyone, and mostly to all the girls. Please read this book. Then I have this copy of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and would the book community kill me if I say I haven't read this book yet? We have The Stranger by Albert Camus, and a very funny thing that happened to me was I made a reading vlog on this book, and throughout the video I was saying Albert Camus, and then when I got to know it's not pronounced Camus, I felt really stupid. Then we have Hamlet by William Shakespeare. I don't know how do I have this book. I have no interest reading it also. Next book we have Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Again, when I read this book, I don't think my cerebral capacity was fully matured, and I think I'll enjoy this book much more now. Guys, for the last 4 books, we have The Brothers Lord by Kevin Holohan. I picked this classic from a book fair, don't know anything about it. Then we have a very famous book. It's called 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Haven't read it. Then we have Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. Haven't read it. And then lastly, we have A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. Started reading it, did not complete it. Oh, there's one short book here as well. As You Like It by William Shakespeare. Alright guys, that was all for the bookshelf tour. I did not expect this to take so much of my time. I am missing one book, and if any of my friend is seeing this video, please guys, any of you who have my copy of Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, please return it back to me, please. Yeah, See, I'm very enthused about showing people what all books I have and stuff. So I had a great time doing this video. I think you had as well watching it. And that is all for this video. Meet you next time and please show love.